What's up, Facebook? It's your boy Trey Larkins, Wise Guy Sports, on this Sunday, February the 8th. Wise Guy Sports. Go and follow on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Wise Guy Sports, your boy Trey Larkins. Go and follow Wise Guy Sports on all social media platforms. Give me y'all comments, y'all thoughts on the Super Bowl as Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks beat Drake May and the New England Patriots 29-13 in Super Bowl 60 for the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, he went 19 for 38. He threw for 202 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker took home Super Bowl MVP. He had 27 carries, 135 rushing yards, averaged over about 5 yards per carry. For the Patriots, Drake May, he struggled. He went 27 for 43. He threw for 295 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And again, Kenneth Walker III won Super Bowl MVP. And so my biggest takeaway from the Super Bowl this year, after watching that Super Bowl, was about how overrated the New England Patriots have been all season long. I told y'all before the AFC Championship, I told y'all after the AFC Championship, and I said it before the Super Bowl, and I said it when the playoffs originally started. When the playoffs first started, I said the Patriots are overrated. And I told people that the Patriots were a 14-3 football team, that in my eyes, they were an overrated football team. Yes, the Patriots were 14-3. Yes, the Patriots won the AFC East. Yes, Drake May was an MVP candidate throughout the regular season. But the Patriots were significantly overrated all season long. During the regular season, the Patriots, at one point in the season, they went on a 10-game winning streak. Did y'all know only 2 of the 10 teams that they beat during that 10-game winning streak were playoff teams in the Buffalo Bills and Carolina Panthers? The other 8 teams that the Patriots beat on their 10-game winning streak during the regular season were not playoff teams. They were not playoff teams. So the most significant win that the Patriots had all season was against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Besides that, the Patriots did not have a true signature win. The Patriots had the easiest schedule since the 1999 St. Louis Rams. Think about that. They had the easiest schedule since the 1999 St. Louis Rams. This is why they were 14-3. This is why they were able to win the AFC East and finish 14-3. Not only that, we get to the playoffs, right? We get to the postseason in the first round, wild card weekend. The Patriots beat a Chargers team, and their offensive line was banged up. In that game, the Chargers did not have either of their starting offensive tackles and Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. We get to the divisional round of the playoffs. Patriots match up against the Texans, and C.J. Stroud turned into a turnover machine. C.J. Stroud was a turnover machine in that game. Drake May also struggled in the divisional round of the playoffs. He had multiple turnovers, and I said it then, and I'm going to say it now. If the Texans had competent production at the quarterback position, the Texans beat the Patriots with that elite defense in the divisional round of the playoffs. If C.J. Stroud had not turned into a turnover machine, the Texans would have beaten the Patriots in the divisional round of the playoffs. So the Patriots lucked up in that round as well. Drake May did not impress me at night. There was not a point in the postseason where I felt like Drake May had made that leap. And I felt like coming into the playoffs, he had all the hype. Everybody was hyping Drake May. And Drake May, he deserved to be in the MVP conversation. I think during the regular season, he had 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, over 4,000 yards passing. I think he completed over 70% of his passes in the regular season. So he deserved to be in the MVP conversation. But I always say, we got to be careful to not crown these quarterbacks too soon. To me, there are only 5 bona fide quarterbacks who deserve the benefit of the doubt, who should be considered elite quarterbacks. That's Patrick Mahomes, that's Lamar Jackson, that's Josh Allen, that's Joe Burrow, and Matthew Stafford. Those are the only 5 quarterbacks, to me, who should be considered elite quarterbacks. We got to stop crowning these dudes too early. We have to stop crowning these quarterbacks too early and be patient, because I kept hearing about how elite Drake May was. That's all I heard all regular season from Patriots fans and analysts about how elite Drake May was as a quarterback. And all I said was, he's having a great season, but let's pump the brakes on putting him in the elite quarterback conversation, because that should only be reserved for Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, and Stafford. That's it. That's it. Drake May is no better than Jordan Love. Drake May is no better than Jaden Daniels. Drake May is no better than Brock Purdy. Drake May is no better than Sam Darnold. Okay? Let's be clear about that. So I felt like Drake May was overrated heading into the playoffs. The Patriots were overrated heading into the playoffs. And again, in the wild card round, they lucked up and beat a Chargers team that did not have either of their starting tackles and Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. And then in the divisional round, they ran into a Texas team who quarterback forgot how to play the quarterback position. CJ Stroud has regressed. And not only that, the Texans did not have Nico Collins in that game. Dalton Schultz left the game early as well. So the Texans did not have their top 2 targets, and Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, in the second half of the divisional round matchup against the Patriots. We fast forward to the AFC Championship game. The Patriots lucked up before the AFC Championship game even kicked off, because the Broncos lost their starting quarterback in Bo Nix. So the Patriots had an advantage over the Broncos simply because the Broncos had to start Jarrett Stidham. Stidham hadn't thrown a pass in 2 years. Stidham had not thrown a pass in an NFL game in 2 years. And in the AFC Championship game, I thought in the first quarter, the Broncos outplayed the Patriots, right? The turning point in that game was when the Broncos, they had the football. They were inside the Patriots 30-yard line. It was 7-0 Broncos. And at that point in the game, the Broncos defense had completely shut down the Patriots offense. And the Broncos were inside the Patriots 30-yard line. And Sean Payton decides to go for the knockout and tries to go for it on 4th and 1 instead of kicking a field goal and going up 10-0 over the Patriots. The Broncos go for it on 4th down. The Patriots get a stop, and that completely swung momentum in favor of the New England Patriots. I thought that was a mistake by Sean Payton. And Sean Payton's one of the best coaches in pro football. He's one of the best coaches in his era. But that was a mistake by Sean Payton. I believe he should have taken the points. And to me, considering how the rest of the game went, the Broncos could have beaten the Patriots 10-0 in the AFC Championship game. But Broncos go for it on fourth down. Patriots defense gets a stop, which they deserve credit for. That's what the Patriots, I will say this. I do believe the Patriots are overrated as a team, but their defense did impress me throughout this playoff run. The Patriots defense, they did impress me, even tonight against the Seahawks. For majority of that game, the Patriots defense held Sam Darnold and that Seahawks offense in check. So that's the one element of the Patriots football team that did impress me, was their defense. But in the AFC Championship game, Sean Payton decides to go for it on fourth down. Patriots defense gets a stop, and all the momentum swung to the Patriots. And to his credit, Mike Vrabel, in the third quarter, when the Patriots were in field goal range, he kicked the field goal, and the Patriots went up 10-7. But also, the one touchdown that the Patriots scored in the AFC Championship game, that was off of a Stidham fumble, and the Patriots recovered the football inside the Broncos' 20-yard line. So they were already in the red zone. So that's another thing. Drake May and the Patriots offense, they didn't have one impressive drive to me in the AFC Championship game. Not one. They didn't have one impressive drive whatsoever. And then in the second half, it was a blizzard. It was a blizzard in the second half. Because if it were not for the blizzard, I believe Stidham and the Denver Broncos would have beaten Drake May and the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game. So the Patriots lucked up in the AFC Championship game, and they end up in the Super Bowl, and it was clear to me that this was a mismatch. This was a mismatch. And to me, honestly, though, I felt like watching the Super Bowl tonight. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I'm happy for Kenneth Walker III. I'm happy for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I am happy for second-year head coach Mike McDonald and that entire Seattle Seahawks organization. They deserve credit, and they proved that they are the best team in pro football this year. But even watching that game, to me, I think Seattle is a good football team. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks are a great football team. Like last year, I watched the Super Bowl. I watched the Eagles dismantle the Chiefs. And after that Super Bowl, I felt like the Eagles are a great football team. Seriously. I didn't watch that Super Bowl tonight with those thoughts about the Seahawks. I think Seattle is good. Okay, let me be very clear. The Seattle Seahawks are a good football team. But they're not a great football team. But they are significantly better than the Patriots. I think the Patriots are overrated, and they are an average football team at best. Average football team. But, and one of the reasons why I feel like the Seahawks are not great and they are good is because I thought the Seahawks had opportunities tonight to blow the Patriots off the field. And they could not take advantage of those opportunities. There were multiple opportunities tonight where I thought the Seahawks could have put their foots on the Patriots' necks and could have blown them off the field. And the game kind of still felt competitive in the fourth quarter. So to me, neither the Patriots or the Seahawks are great football teams. The Patriots are average and the Seahawks are good. But I think last year's Eagles, they would have beaten the Seahawks team. So congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They are the best team in pro football. And it just shows you the parity in the NFL. It shows you the parity. Because I think Seattle, they are a good football team. They're not great. But big shout out to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, after being with the New York Jets, being with the Carolina Panthers, and even being a backup with the 49ers, and also being with the Vikings last year, Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion. And that's something that nobody can ever take away from Sam Darnold. I've been a I've been very critical of Sam Darnold throughout his career, and Sam Darnold balled out in the postseason. Tonight, he was good, wasn't great. I thought he was great in the NFC Championship game. I thought he was good in the NFC Championship game against the Rams, but Sam Darnold deserves credit. And we can no longer view Sam Darnold as this bad quarterback or even an average quarterback. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. I'm not ready to say he's elite, but he is a solid, bona fide, good quarterback. And I do believe Super Bowls matter. And so now there are certain players that I would take Sam Darnold over now. Like I've seen Justin Herbert struggle in the playoffs. I've seen Trevor Lawrence be very inconsistent throughout his career. I probably would take Sam Darnold over Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence now. But players like Jordan Love and Brock Purdy and Jaden Daniels, even Jared Goff, I'm not ready to say Sam Darnold are better than those players I just named. I think they're all on the same level. Now, I know he's a Super Bowl champion. I'm not going to overreact. But Sam Darnold, with him winning a Super Bowl, there are certain quarterbacks I would take Sam Darnold over, like the Justin Herberts of the world, the Trevor Lawrence of the world, over those two quarterbacks. But quarterbacks like Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy, I'm not ready to say Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than those four quarterbacks I just named. But Sam Darnold is a good quarterback who you can win a Super Bowl with, clearly. So big shout out to Sam Darnold. Kenneth Walker III won Super Bowl MVP. He had 27 carries, 130 plus rushing yards. Also had 2 receptions for 26 receiving yards out of the backfield. Big shout out to Kenneth Walker winning Super Bowl MVP. There was moments throughout the game, especially in the second half, where I started to think, hell, the kicker for the Seahawks might win Super Bowl MVP. The kicker might win Super Bowl MVP. But overall, I was very disappointed with the Super Bowl this year. It was nothing like years prior at all. At all. Like, big shout out to Seattle. Seattle deserves credit for being Super Bowl champions, but this was Super Bowl was not it for me. My bad. Super Bowl, like I was not feeling the halftime show. Like there were multiple times throughout the Super Bowl where I was dozing off. Like I was not impressed with the Super Bowl halftime show whatsoever. Like I'm old enough to remember when Usher performed at the Super Bowl a few years ago. I remember a few years ago when the Bengals and Rams were in the Super Bowl in LA. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre came out on stage. I mean, that was a great Super Bowl halftime performance. And even last year, I thought Kendrick Lamar did a hell of a job at the Super Bowl in the Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl as well. But I thought the Super Bowl halftime show it wasn't something I was feeling at all. I was not impressed with the Super Bowl halftime performance. I watched the first few minutes and I said this is not up to par, and I'm out. And that's how I really felt about the whole Super Bowl 60 game itself. Like to me, this there was not really many exciting moments in the Super Bowl this year, and it makes you appreciate players who are great players. Because tonight I watched the Super Bowl and I'm like, the Seahawks have a good team, but besides Jackson Smith and Jigba, like they don't really have any great players. Like Seattle has a good team, but they don't really have any great players. Last year, the Chiefs had Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles had A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley. Okay, in the Bengals Rams Super Bowl, the Rams had Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp in his prime, Jalen Ramsey. Okay, the Bengals had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. This year's Super Bowl, there were good players on the field, but to me, besides maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba, there were no great players on the field. Now, that defensive back for the Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, he nice. I thought Christian Gonzalez played a hell of a game tonight, and he had multiple pass breakups throughout the football game. But overall, Drake May was overrated throughout the season, especially in the playoffs. The Patriots were overrated as a football team, and the better team won tonight. The better team won tonight, and the Seahawks are Super Bowl champions. But this Seahawks football team is nowhere near as good as the Super Bowl team that beat the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl in the Russell Wilson era and Pete Carroll era. That Super Bowl team with Seattle, that defense with LOB, with Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, that Seahawks team was a way better football team than this current Seahawks football team. But Seahawks deserve credit. They have turned around this franchise in 2 years. I mean, in 1 year of Sam Darnold coming to Seattle, his first year being their starting quarterback, the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. So big shout out to Mike McDonald. Big shout out to Seahawks general manager John Snyder. That was a great transition from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold was a clear upgrade over Geno Smith. And I thought Geno stabilized the quarterback position for the Seattle Seahawks. And they were winning games with Geno Smith, but they were not going to win a Super Bowl with Geno. They were able to win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. And I know tonight, the biggest losers of the results from Super Bowl 60 are not even the New England Patriots. The biggest losers from tonight are the Minnesota Vikings. Think about how Minnesota feels right now, seeing Sam Darnold the next year go out and win a Super Bowl and become a Super Bowl champion. Remember, Sam Darnold, less than 15 months ago, was in the Vikings facility. He was their starting quarterback. Now, I understand why the Vikings made the decision that they made to move off of Sam Darnold. I understand it. But J.J. McCarthy was not the answer. He was not. And the thing is with McCarthy was not this great player in college who you believe is going to be your elite franchise quarterback. So if I were the Vikings, I understand why they moved off of Sam Darnold, but I probably would have brought Sam Darnold back on a 1-year franchise deal and would have wanted to see how he would have performed. But to me, the biggest losers of the night, it's not the New England Patriots, it's the Minnesota Vikings. I know it stings tonight for Vikings fans watching Sam Darnold capture his first Super Bowl a year after being the starting quarterback for the Vikings and leading the Vikings to a playoff appearance. Vikings fans, I know they are sick to their stomachs tonight watching the results from the Super Bowl. But Super Bowl 60 is in the books. Seattle Seahawks defeat the New England Patriots 29-13 in Super Bowl 60, Kenneth Walker III takes home Super Bowl MVP. And that will wrap up the 2025-2026 NFL season. Don't forget, Tuesday night on Wise Guy Sports, Lakota East running back, Ryder Hooks. He is committed to Eastern Kentucky University in the fall. He will be live with me on Wise Guy Sports Tuesday night. So be sure to tune in to that Tuesday night, Wise Guy Sports. Lakota East running back Ryder Hooks will join the show. So I'm definitely excited about that. Everybody go follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys at Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. I told y'all the Patriots were overrated. Seahawks get it done in the Super Bowl in the Bay, 29-13 over the Patriots. Y'all enjoy y'all night. I'm Trey Larkins signing off. Peace.